So have you ever thought about the fact that every time you train, you're one training session closer to your eventual last training session? Like every day you step on the mats, that's one day closer to the end of your training period, right? And I know it's a weird thought, but stick with me on this. So, like, what would you think about training if, let's say, you could look into the future? Maybe you had a crystal ball, and you could look into that crystal ball, and you can see an exact number. Like, it would tell you the exact number of training sessions that you have left. And then every day you came in to train, you knew you were like marking off one day, moving closer to that number of, till the last, right? How would you look at training then? Knowing that it's going to end, knowing the exact time it's going to end, how would you look at it? And I was talking to one of my students last night when we were doing a podcast, and I kind of told him that, like, it's something that for me, as I've gotten older, I've kind of realized, because for me, I used to get really frustrated when I would have bad days. Like, I mean, I would drive home just beating my freaking forehead on the steering wheel and replaying the events and getting really angry about stuff. And I see that from the questions that I get from you guys and questions I get from my students sometimes, I get a lot of frustration out of those. Like, I can see, and not frustration on my part, but I can see the frustration that you guys have by the questions you ask. Maybe you didn't have the performance that you wanted at the competition. Maybe you're experiencing some tough stuff when you're rolling, and you get frustrated with it. You get angry about it, and you get, you just beat yourself up over it. Think about it like this. Put it in perspective. Your health is not guaranteed, right? Your ability to train is not a guarantee. It's not permanent, right? Because you're going to have injuries. And everybody at some point is going to have some sort of illness, and even worse, some people get disease and they get really sick and they can't train, right? Like last night, this is kind of where this stemmed from. Last night I was rolling, and at the end of the day, it was a great day of training. I had 2 training sessions. I lifted once in between. By the way, if you guys are interested in those weight training videos, those are coming. I'm nursing an injury from the nogi pans in my shoulder. But after all that, the last roll, the very last roll, one of my buddies, a good friend, a person I consider very close, a good friend, right? He new purple belt. His knee tweaked. He got a little injury, probably a meniscus. We don't know, but he got an injury, and so now he's not going to be able to step on the mat. And again, that's, for me, it's sad because I really like the guy. I enjoy seeing him around, and for him, I know it sucks because he's not going to be able to be in the gym with us and train. And so likewise, if you step off the mat and you're still healthy. Maybe it wasn't the best day of training you ever had. Maybe the competition didn't go as well as you would have liked. Put it into perspective. You're out there doing the damn thing. You're healthy enough to do it. You're out there able to do it. Be thankful for that. Because again, someday you're not going to be able to do it. Someday you're just going to our bodies are going to get, be beaten up by time and training, and you're just not going to be able to do it anymore. So if you ever get those moments, and I'm just sharing this really doesn't have that, like a nice little spin or story to it. I'm just sharing it with you. If you get out there and you're having a frustrating time on the mat, if you're not doing as well as you would like, just put it into perspective. You're lucky to be out there training. You're lucky to be surrounded by really amazing people that make you want to come back. You're lucky to be out there and share the camaraderie. You're lucky to do all this stuff because it's not forever. And someday when we're old, or someday when you're sick or you're injured or whatever it is, you're going to want to go back, and you're going to wish you could go back to one of those bad days, quote, bad days, because it's all relative, right? You're going to want to go back to one of those bad days that you had. Because I know for me, anytime I'm injured, I'm like, man, I would kill just to be able to have a bad day on the mat, right? Because I just want to be on the mats. I just want to be on the mats with everyone training. So that's it, man. Again, this has no real point. This is just, if you are out there frustrated right now because some situation you're having on the mat, or some situation you're having with training or competition or whatever the hell it is, just put it into perspective. They're going to happen. Learn from them. There are lessons to be learned. But stop and take a look around you and just be like, man, I'm surrounded by cool people. I'm doing some really cool stuff. I'm getting in better shape. I'm learning some skills. And I'm lucky to be doing this. And again, the journey of jiu-jitsu, it's not forever. The ride eventually is going to come to an end. So just appreciate it and be grateful for it. I'll talk to you guys next time.